Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the man of mystery who strikes terror in the very hearts of sharpsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, the Temple Bells of Neban. Friends, if you want to be sure that the fuel you get to heat your home this winter is safe, healthy, and economical fuel, then by all means buy Blue Coal, the finest of Pennsylvania hard coal. Remember, this superior quality anthracite has been colored a harmless blue at the mines so that you can recognize it at a glance. So take the guesswork out of your fuel buying. Get America's finest anthracite. Ask for Blue Coal by name. Order a supply tomorrow.
The bells, Shadow. The bells of Neban. They will reveal you.
Your third mistake, Sadi. And your last.
No, it is your mistake and your last. This is the end of your career as the Shadow.
Well, Margot, we'll make this a large evening. A couple of hours at the Club Caliph. Does that intrigue you?
Lovely, but not too late. I have an appointment at 10 in the morning at the Women's Club. They're trying to get some action on this terrible narcotic situation.
Yes, I read about that.
Oh, the stuff's being peddled all over town. They found school children using it, society women. Why, it's already caused a half dozen suicides.
Yes, I know. It's terrible stuff.
Oh, it needs the Shadow to get at the bottom of it.
Yes, I know, dear, but for tonight, I do enjoy just being myself. Lamont Cranston dilettante. Let's be the Shadow only in real emergencies.
Yeah.
You know, they tell me there's a lovely Indian dancer at this new club, Caliph.
Indian dancer?
Mm-hmm. You know, there's the place just there. Club Caliph, driver.
Yes, sir.
Lamont, you are going to do something about it. You've started already.
Perhaps. Well, here we are. All right, driver. Hey, what?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that looked like young Jerry Gleason just going in.
Yes? If I was that young man's father, I'd spank him and keep him home occasionally.
Spoiled son of a wealthy sire.
Here, let me have your coat. I'll check it with mine.
Good evening, Jerry.
Oh, hello, Miss Lane.
Your father and sister well? I haven't seen them lately.
Yes. I'm sorry, but I can't wait right now. I've got to see someone, and it's important. I'm sorry.
But Jerry...
Hello. What ails young Gleason?
I don't know. He seems awfully upset about something. He doesn't look well either. Pale and shaky.
You're right, he doesn't. Something curious about that boy. Well, let's go in.
May I show you to a table, sir?
Take this table by the dance floor, thank you.
Oh, there's someone getting up to speak. We seem to be just in time for the main attraction.
Apparently.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take pleasure in presenting the fascinating and beautiful dancer of the Far East, Sadi Belada. For our first number tonight, she will give you the dance of the cobra, Sadi Belada.
Look, isn't she lovely?
Yes. Real thing, too. Real Hindu. It's odd, you know.
Goodness. Look, she's taking a snake out of that wicker basket.
A live cobra.
Oh, heavens.
You know, the cobra is connected with the old Indian mysticism, the most ancient of magic. See how she quiets the snake, makes it sway to the motion of her hands. It's a form of mesmerism. We've never improved on that with all our modern psychology.
I hope its fangs have been removed.
Well, they undoubtedly have. So, this is the one they call Sadi Belada. Jerry Gleason with that strange look in his eyes. An epidemic of narcotic smuggling. Sadi Belada.
Oh, how graceful she is. She keeps looking over here, Lamont.
Yes. It's coming this way. Well,
souvenir for the beautiful lady, sir.
Oh? Oh, a bracelet. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, fair lady.
You know the tongue of Mother India, sir.
Only enough to make a small prayer. Only enough for that, Sadi Belada.
It is good sometimes to know a small prayer.
Just in case of an emergency?
Yes. You are very wise, sir. In case you should meet someone who could destroy you, sir.
I see.
Cela.
Just what did she mean by that?
I don't know exactly. Funny sort of thing. She seems to know something about me. I'm trying to recall where I've seen that face.
What an exotic picture. Look, she's stopping at the table by the door. Why, it's young Jerry Gleason. She handed him something.
Good Lord.
He's going out with her. What's the matter now?
It just struck me, Margot. That boy's face. The color of his skin.
You mean drunk?
Yes. The poppy of India.
Oh, but not Jerry Gleason. Oh, that'd be too awful. And our own friend Claire Gleason, his aunt, who's tried so hard to steer him straight since his mother died, it would just about kill her.
Come, Margot.
We must do something.
We're
Mom.
going to. I did come here tonight with a vague idea that this Indian dancer might have some connection with the thing. With her veiled threats and Jerry's interest in her, I'm pretty sure
But
now.
what are you going to do?
I think the shadow will pay a call on Sadi Belada in her dressing room. I think the shadow can strike back.
Come in.
Sadi,
Yes?
can anyone overhear us here in your dressing room?
Oh, no. What do you want, Alexis?
A message from the captain.
What then?
Tomorrow is the day. The police are getting closer. We sail tomorrow night at 8.
I am not afraid of the police. But there is somebody else I am not sure about.
You took care of Jerry Gleason,
I gave him his medicine and sent him home.
but you bring him tomorrow night?
Do not fear, Alexis. Jerry will be with me when we sail. I have a way to let him know.
Good.
Oh, the air blows from that window. Close it, Alexis.
Too bad we have to terminate. The grand success of Sadi Belada and the Club Caliph.
Yes.
But as the Americans say, business is business, yes?
And we still have a small business with the rich papa of Jerry Gleason.
No doubt the richest part of our business, sweet Sadi. The rich man will pay well.
Who laughs?
Where are you? Speak.
I am here. In the shadow. But I'm afraid you can't see me.
Speak. And say who you are.
Have you never heard of the shadow?
Oh, the shadow? So it is you. Have I not somewhere in the past seen your face and known your name? I think so. Did you enjoy yourself tonight?
I warn you, Sadi Belada. Leave the Gleason boy alone. The boy to whom you give the evil drug.
I have no fear of you, shadow side. I hold a greater power. I hold the power of the Temple Bells of Neban.
Huh? You command the Temple Bells of Neban, do you?
Yes.
Either you lie, or you desecrate a great gift.
Put your strength against mine, Whitey Fandy, and you will see how I desecrate that gift. I can cast your little spells aside and make them nothing. I can kill you.
Kill me? The shadow, Sadi?
Yes. If you dare to come to me again. Will you come?
Who could refuse such an invitation? Especially when made by so charming a lady as yourself. Yes, I will come. And be sure you don't mistake my voice when I do come. Sadi Belada.
Well, what is it, Sergeant?
Excuse me, Commissioner. Old man Gleason is outside and insists he's got to see you.
Gleason? You mean Andrew Gleason?
Sure, the big Wall Street banker, friend of the mayor. Shall I let him come in? Or...
All this claim deficiency where it doesn't do any good. I want to see you, Commissioner.
All right, Mr. Gleason.
What the devil is this town coming to?
Well, if you'll tell me what you're getting at...
My boy is what I'm getting at. He's lying home there with the worst case of delirium tremens I ever saw. Spent the night sopping up liquor in these rotten honky-tonks.
Mr. Gleason, if you think the police department's going around playing wet nurse to all the spoiled kids in this town... Is this what you came to see me about, Mr. Gleason?
It certainly is.
Well, I happen to have more important things on my mind right now.
Then you better get this on your mind. Because if you don't, I'll see to it that there's somebody here who does. And I can do it. Good day to you.
Well, seems like this was a busy day, sir. What with drunken college boys and millionaires.
This is another of those... Commissioner Weston speaking.
Why, you...
Don't lose your patience, Commissioner. The Shadow has information that may help you. Young Jerry Gleason is becoming a drug addict.
What?
Yes. A victim of this flood of drugs being peddled on our streets. It might cost you your job. Are you interested, Commissioner? You hear, Margot?
Yes. As though they came out of nowhere.
The Temple Bells of Neban. Listen. 3 soft notes will strike, and then the spell will be broken.
They're gone. But Harlemont, here we sit in your apartment listening to weird temple bells. Where did they come from? How did you do it?
Not too difficult, Margot, dear. For those who've learned its secret based on the phenomenon of telepathy combined with the old science of the yoga, the same magic which gives voice to a shadow.
It's a very awe-inspiring demonstration.
If there should be someone who could command the Temple Bells of Neban, the shadow would cease to be a shadow.
You mean they could see?
Yes. At the last stroke of the bell, I would be only what I am. Lamont Cranston. My magic invisibility, so to speak, dispelled by this greater power.
And you think there is someone with this power?
I'm not sure. Years ago, in India, a yogi priest, keeper of the Temple of the Cobras at Delhi, taught me the ancient mysteries. He taught me the mesmeric trick that the underworld calls invisibility. There was a small girl, his niece, who used to sit and listen, staring up at us with her round, dark eyes. She was very clever. Clever. I've often wondered What became of her?
But the cobras. You don't mean the Indian dancer at the club cave?
I'm not sure, Margot. I'm not sure.
Oh, but this worries me, Lamont. Aren't you going into dangers too big for you?
Don't worry about me, Margot. Worry about the boy and all other poor, miserable wretches in the toils of this awful drug traffic. Is young Gleason safe?
Yes, his father made him go to bed. They thought he'd been drinking too much.
Well, guess it's time I got busy.
Have you found out anything else?
One or two things. In Sadi Belada's dressing room, I found a note signed by a Captain Marlin of the freighter Albore Castle. I think there's some connection there. I'm going to find out. First, though, I'm going to the zoo.
The zoo?
Yes. Yes, I want to borrow a decorative little reptile from my friend the curator. He's usually very obliging. Who opened that door?
Look. Hanging from the doorknob.
A snake.
Don't touch it.
It's all right. It's a dead one. And a note with it. So, she's not bluffing. She does know who I am.
Oh, Lamont, I'm frightened for you. What does it say?
It says, dead cobras are better playthings than live ones. Was I mistaken?
Then it's Sadi Belada. Oh, Lamont.
Margot, it's a challenge.
But the bells. The bells of Neban. Oh, I'm afraid the shadow this time will get beyond his depth.
We shall see, Margot. We shall see who is stronger. Sadi and the bells of Neban, or the shadow and the snake.
I'll show them. They think they can keep me a prisoner in my own house. Putting me to bed as if I was some half-grown kid. What's that?
Jerry, you hear me?
Is it you, Sadi?
Yes, my voice in your thoughts. Listen, Jerry. Come to me at the dock where we met before. Your medicine is waiting.
Yes.
Go aboard the ship I told you about, the Albora Castle. You and I, Jerry.
Yes.
I am waiting, Jerry.
But they've locked me in.
Go through the window, Jerry. Come now.
Yes, Sadi. The window.
Margot Lane, stand by for orders. Jerry Gleason has escaped from his house. But I have followed him to the waterfront, and I know where he's going. Get word to Commissioner Weston. Time is short. I accept Sadi's challenge. Send harbor police to the freighter Albore Castle, which lies in the harbor just off Bay Ridge shore, ready to sail. Hurry, Margot.
It's depressing here in this cabin, Sadi Bell.
A little. Why do you tremble so, Alexis?
I wish we were far at sea, on our way to Rio.
Oh, be patient. The ransom note was delivered to Papa Gleason?
Yes. What was that?
But there is nothing.
Oh, it's you, Captain. Yes. We are leaving, Captain?
Yes, we're getting on the way now. We've got the boys stowed safely below decks.
And the rest of the medicine?
We got rid of that, what was left of it. A nice cleanup for all hands, not counting this Gleason job. That'll net us another 100,000, or nothing. Oh, we're fixed, whichever way the dice roll.
And after that, we live like kings, without a care, yes?
Not even a conscience to bother you.
What?
Sadi, he has come. I was afraid.
Who said that?
I did, Captain.
So you're the one with your trick ghost talk and magic, eh? I'll make a shadow out of you soon enough.
Not that way, Captain.
No? Here, lock that door, Alexis.
It is locked, Captain Malin, but the porthole.
No one can get through those, not even a shadow. Save your laugh, whoever you are. We've got you. You're in this cabin somewhere, and this ship is outward bound. Laugh that off.
I think you may have made 3 mistakes, Captain. One too many.
Yes?
Yes, Captain.
But I do not make mistakes, Sad.
That remains to be seen, Sadi Belada.
Then you will see. Hand me the wicker basket, Alexis.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Yes, Sadi.
I call the Temple Bells of Neban, Captain. The shadow has the power to blind your eyes. A trick he learned in India from a yogi who was my uncle. But I have a better trick. When the last bell sounds while the sacred cobra dances, you will see the shadow only as a man. Be ready to shoot, Captain.
I'm ready.
And now, my cobra, to dance with the bells of Neban.
I wouldn't open that basket if I were you, Sadi Belada.
You watch my pretty cobra, Sal. He may find you even before the captain's bullet. You would die just as quickly.
Dead cobras are better playthings than live ones.
Bismillahi Rahmani Rahim. Make your small prayer, Sal. And now, my pretty one, begin to dance.
Be careful, Sadi Bell. The cobra moves toward you.
My own pretty cobra. He knows me. You hear the bells, Shadow? The temple bells of Neban?
I hear them.
When the last bell strikes, we shall see our prisoner.
And I am waiting for that minute.
But, Sadi, the cobra.
Look out! He's going to strike.
Alexis! Captain!
Quick! Drop the basket over Alexis. Kill him!
Sadi. Sadi.
The shadow warned you, Sadi Belada.
You take credit for this, too, do you?
No. Sadi should have known it was not her cobra in the wicker basket. It was mine.
She's dead.
What's that? Who is it?
Captain Allen, the police have boarded
Where?
No, please, Captain Malin, you do not shoot.
Stand back here!
Drop that gun.
I'll fix him. Oh!
Put the bracelets on both of them, Sergeant.
Right.
Dope smugglers, kidnappers, and from the looks, murderers. This time the police were too smart for you.
Oh, decidedly.
Huh? Who's that?
Thanks for coming, Commissioner. You were very helpful.
The story you have just heard is copyrighted by the Shadow magazine. The characters in this story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
Extra! Extra! Hear all about it! Next week, same time, same station. The Shadow's latest adventure. Extra! Extra! Hear all about it. Next week, same time, same station. The Shadow's latest adventure.
The shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror in the very hearts of shopsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Today, The League of Terror. Ladies and gentlemen, The Shadow's exciting adventure starts in just a moment.
With the court's permission, I'll rephrase that question. Mr. Sullivan, do you know how these counterfeit $1 and $5 bills came to be in the cash register of your grocery store?
I got them from customers, I guess.
Michael Sullivan, you're a witness in a federal trial, under oath to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Do you know you can be sent to prison for perjury?
Yes, I know it well enough.
Before this trial began, you testified that the defendants in this case, Slater and Marino, entered your store. But they forced you to buy counterfeit $5 and $10 bills to be passed out in change to your unsuspecting customers. Why have you changed your testimony? Why?
I was mistaken, that's all.
You're lying, Michael Sullivan, lie.
Order in the court. Mr. Prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is quite apparent that your witness has received a threat, either to himself or his family, as he testified against the defendants in this case. Since he will not repeat his sworn testimony against these defendants, I have no alternative but to dismiss the charges. Case dismissed. Order in the court.
Your Honor, I demand that Michael Sullivan be held on a charge of perjury.
Michael Sullivan, much as this court may sympathize with your reasons and motives for shielding these criminals who prey upon an unsuspecting public in the wholesale commerce of worthless counterfeit money, I have no alternative but to sentence you to 1 year in prison.
1 year in prison? But, Your Honor, there's my wife and my daughter, Mary. I'm afraid of what the dirty rats would do to them if I told the truth.
I'm sorry, Michael Sullivan, but unless you testify...
I can't. I tell you, I can't.
The sentence of 1 year in prison must stand. Court's adjourned.
Yes, sir. That's right. I get a year in prison for trying to protect my family, and the real crooks go free. Look at them walking out of court free as the air to go on with their dirty business.
Yeah, it's a good thing for his daughter married that Sullivan took my warning. Come on, let's get out of here. Okay, boys.
Lamont, of all the unfair, unjust sentences.
I know, Margot. It seems cruel, harsh, but our whole legal system is being undermined by violence and intimidation of witnesses.
Isn't there something you could do, Lamont, some way of helping Michael Sullivan?
Sullivan isn't the only one who is suffering from the operation of this counterfeit ring. Small businessmen, shopkeepers, poor people who can't afford to get bad money.
A counterfeit dollar bill probably means the difference between eating and not eating to a lot of those people over in Sullivan's Street.
Exactly, Margot. This is operating among the poor people who can't defend themselves.
Lamont, are you going to another case as the shadow?
Well, later perhaps. Right now, Margot, Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane can help by doing a little shopping in Michael Sullivan's grocery store.
How's little Maria? Oh, she's sick. All the time she cries.
Oh, what's the matter?
I don't know. The doctor, he says she don't get enough to eat. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that can't be helped, Miss Sullivan. Oh, I'm mighty sorry they send your papa to jail because he won't talk now.
Father would have talked. He ain't afraid. Not for himself. He was afraid of what they do to Mother and me.
How is your mother?
She's not so well. She's been sick all along, and now with Father in prison. She can't understand it. I'm afraid for her. She's so sick.
None of us don't understand. We're all afraid.
Well, I'm not. I've got Father's gun here under the counter. And if any of that counterfeit gang comes around here again, I won't depend on the law to protect me.
No, Miss Sullivan. You can't fight them. They're too many.
Well, there'll be a couple less if they bother us again.
Hush, Maria. Oh, hush, Bambino.
Baby.
No. Miss Sullivan, you have so much trouble. I don't like to bother you, but...
What is it, Mrs. Giovanni?
The landlord, he say that $5 bill that Mr. Sullivan gave me, it's no good. He say I got to pay the rent and give the money or get out. Look, he give it back to me.
Another counterfeit bill, huh? I'm sorry, Mrs. Giovanni. Give it to me. Here. Here's a good bill. At least I think it is. The counterfeit bills are so good you can hardly tell they're fakes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, mister.
Here we are, Margot.
I'll be with you in just a moment.
Well, thank you.
If you hear of anyone else who has any of these bad bills Father had to give out, let me know, Mrs. Giovanni. I'll make them as good if it takes every cent we got.
Oh, bless you, miss. Well, goodbye. You be mighty careful, Miss Sullivan.
I will, Mrs. Giovanni. Good night. Good evening. What do you want?
I think a couple of cans of corn and string beans.
And a loaf of bread. And some butter.
You're strangers in this neighborhood?
Yes, and get some peaches.
Yes, 2 large cans of peaches.
Strangers don't come way over here in this section to buy groceries. Who are you and what do you really want?
Miss Sullivan, put away that gun. You're a courageous but a rather foolish young woman.
Well, maybe so. But I got only myself to think of. I'm not like Dad, afraid because he had a family.
Please, Miss Sullivan, we're not members of the counterfeit ring that's been terrorizing your father.
How do I know that?
If we were members of that ring, Miss Sullivan, you would have been shot long before you could get that gun. It's very obvious.
Well, what do you want?
For appearance's sake, in case this store is being watched, you'd better give us the groceries we ordered.
All right. What was it now?
Corn, string beans, and peaches.
Here's the corn. Who are you? Newspaper reporters or the police?
Would you like to save your father from that year in prison?
Yes, anything. It's killing my mother.
There's a man watching the store across the street in the doorway.
I expected as much.
Who are you? How can you save my
Get the
father?
groceries.
Yes, sir.
Now the other things. Keep moving. But listen to me.
Yes, sir.
You're a brave girl, Miss Sullivan, but your life won't be worth one of those counterfeit bills unless you use your head.
What do you mean?
Do you know enough about this counterfeit ring, how they operate, who they are, to make them fear you will talk?
I know how they operate, but Slater and Marino are the only ones who ever came here.
Slater and Marino will be out of the picture for the present. Don't stand there. Get me things. Anything at all. Make a package.
My father never saw anyone else either. None of the big shots. I'll put this stuff in a paper bag.
There's 2 men in that doorway across the street from Alabama.
Let me know if they start this way. Now, Miss Sullivan, I can't tell you who I am or exactly why I'm here, except that I was in court today. I want to help you. I can if you're willing to take a great risk to help your father.
I'll do anything for Dad. If I don't get him out, I'm afraid my mother will die. If I only knew who's behind Slater and Marino, who's that boy?
You can find out. But you know what happens to those who know too much.
I'll take that risk. How can I find out who they are?
By pretending to know more than you do.
I don't understand.
Those men across the street will undoubtedly come in here in the minute we leave. They'll question you. Pretend you know how they operate.
Yes?
That you want to be paid to keep quiet. The chances are they'll take you to a higher up. Maybe not the ringleader, but someone who knows the real leader.
But Lamont, they'll kill her.
Not until they find out how much she knows and who else shares that knowledge.
Anyhow, I don't care.
It's only fair to warn you. You're taking a desperate chance.
What have I got to lose? They'll probably try to put me out of the way anyhow. The whole neighborhood knows how I feel about him.
I said I'd kill them for what they'd done to my father if I ever found out who they were.
Those men are starting this way.
You've got to go, Miss Sullivan. Better think over what I've said before you act.
Oh, I'll do it. My mind's made up.
Come on, Margot.
Lamont, aren't you letting that poor girl take a terrible risk?
Margot, that girl was marked for death before we came here.
What are you going to do? Look, Lamont, those men, they're going in the store.
Margot, get a taxi and get out of this district. Be sure you're not followed. Go to my office and keep the shortwave radio tuned in on the band I always use.
All right, Lamont. But won't you tell me what you're going to do?
There's no time, Margot. I've got to see where they take her. From now on, the fate of Mary Sullivan is in the hands of the shadow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the shadow will be back with you in just a moment.
Where are you taking me?
Shut up. Get in, kid. Sit down and keep quiet. Come on, get up, sister. Here, I'll take the blindfold off your eyes.
Why'd you bring me down to the waterfront?
I do as I'm told. You better learn the same thing.
Where are you taking me?
Maybe this is the end of the line for you, Mary Sullivan.
You wouldn't.
Now, wouldn't we, though?
But not without orders from the big boss.
What do you know about the big boss?
Plenty.
Then your number is up, all right, kid. And there's no plenty about the big boss don't live long.
You're still alive?
Yeah, sure. Because I don't even know who the big boss is, and I don't want to know. It ain't helping.
Trigger.
Who's that?
It's me, Rankin. You got the Sullivan thing?
Yeah. Here she is. Yeah. So I see. She's a nice looker. Listen, Rankin, she says she knows plenty about the big boss.
I'll say I do.
You're a liar, Mary Sullivan. You do know too much about the rest of us.
You better get in touch with the big boss before you do anything to me.
We don't bother him with all the details of this counterfeit racket.
Well, you better bother him about this.
Hey, you know, Rankin, I think she knows something. Shut up, Trigger. I'll do the thinking around here. Maybe she does at that.
I know plenty. And I'm not the only one.
Say, what happened to that fellow in band that was in a Sullivan grocery just before we snatched her? The guy got clean away somehow. Yeah, what about the dame? Yeah, she took a cab. Smitty trailed her, but she gave him the slip. Switched cabs in traffic somewhere. Maybe you better take this kid to the big boss. Not till I find out how much she knows. Come on, Trig, make her talk. You know how. All right, kid. Do you spill what you know, or do we have to get it out of you the hard way?
Let go of my arm. I won't talk to anybody but the big boss. And he'll pay me plenty to keep quiet. You can't scare me like you did my father.
She wants Joe to keep quiet. Shut up, Trigger. Twist her arm. Give her a sample of what's coming to her if she don't talk and talk fast. All right, kid. You asked for it. Hey, you dope. She's fainted. I guess I twisted her arm too hard. Hey, Rankin, did you hear that? Yeah, I did. What was it? The trap. The cops must have found us here. Come on, let's take it on land. No. Wait, we can't be that dame here. You take it, Sullivan, kid. I'll shoot out the light.
Don't draw your gun, Trigger. Don't move, Rankin.
He knows who we are. Say, there's something screwy about this. That voice, it's right here, but there ain't nobody with us.
You're mistaken, Rankin. There is someone here.
What kind of gag is this, Rankin? I don't see nothing, but I'm getting out of here.
Wait, Trigger. Trigger. Do you remember Lefty Sims?
Sure. The first thing a man to eat, but...
He tried to shoot it out with a voice. The police got him. But when he went to the chair, there was only one name on his lips. Remember?
The shadow, Rankin. That's what it is. It ain't the police or the feds. It's the guy nobody's ever seen. The shadow. They say he throws a sort of spell over a guy's mind so you can't see him. Shut up, you crazy. Yeah. It's just somebody throwing his voice. I've seen him do it in Vaudeville. Come on. You pop that likeness bracelet.
Wait. I'm not going to stop you. But before you go, take this message to your leader.
You better listen to him, Rankin. You can't outsmart that guy. Nobody ever has, not for long.
Tell the man who controls this counterfeit ring that preys on the poor and helpless Tell him that if anything should happen to Mary Sullivan, he will answer to the shadow.
He's right in front of us somewhere. Take a couple of pot shots. Maybe you can get him.
No, not me. Can't you see the shadow set the shakedown the big boss?
If you won't shoot, I will. I'll get him even if I can't see him.
A gun won't help you, Rankin.
Oh, no? We'll see about that. Yes. You got him. Talk about luck. Yeah. Well, let's get going while our luck's still good. I don't know if I killed him or not, but I must have winged him. Come on, grab that Sullivan dame and let's get back to the big boss and tell him what's happened.
Yeah, how? Where are we going?
I got a speedboat waiting under the wharf. Come on, we're heading down the bay.
Hey, look. What do you think the big boss will say about bringing the Sullivan dame to his hideout?
Yeah, I hate to think about it. You're about steered about you. Watch that Sullivan dame. She ought to be coming too by now.
Yeah, she's coming out of it. Hey, how much farther we got to go?
Yeah, we're practically there. See that yacht laying at anchor out there?
Holy cow. You mean that's the big boss hideout?
Yeah, see. You're finding out something you're liable to wish you never heard about. Much less seen.
Hmm? You mean that's the plant, huh? That's where all the phony dough's been coming from.
You catch on quick, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the layout the feds and cops have been looking for months. Flashy, ain't she? All right, here we are. Get that Sullivan thing on the feet.
Yeah, okay. But how about me staying in the speedboat?
Nothing doing. You come on aboard and tell the big boss what you know about this shadow.
Nobody knows much about it.
You better do what you do know and sleep fast, Rick. The big boss is the head of this racket because he can think faster than you can shoot. He gets the idea you learn the shakedown, you're as good as dead.
I ain't pulling no double cross. I swear I ain't like
Shut up and bring that dame aboard. Boss knows how to handle her kind. Watch your step or you'll get what's coming to her.
Okay. Come on, sister, come on. Before the night's over, I got a hunch you and me are going to wish we'd never seen this Ritzy tub.
Margot Lane. Listen carefully. Act quickly. The life of the Sullivan girl depends upon it. Telephone Police Commissioner Weston. Have him notify the harbor patrol boats that they will find the leader of the counterfeit ring on board the large yacht anchored off Diamond Point. Hurry.
Okay, there you are, Rankin.
Listen, boss.
No, you listen to me. I've warned you never to come to this yacht without orders.
But, boss, I had
What's the idea of bringing Sig and that Sullivan girl here? You know what happens to those who break the rules of my organization?
I couldn't help it, boss. This is important. She ain't seen anything. I locked her in one of the cabins.
I decide what's important. Why didn't you report first?
There wasn't time. I was going to report, but then this shadow started talking to us in the warehouse.
The shadow?
Yeah. You tell him, Sig.
Never mind. I've heard all about the shadow. So he's on the trail, eh?
Yeah, the shakedown, boss.
Shut up and listen to me. If the shadow's behind this, it's no shakedown.
What is his racket?
Putting organizations like mine out of business. Putting fools like you and Trigger in the electric chair.
Yeah? Well, he won't. Because I got him back in the warehouse.
You what?
Yeah, boss. I just took a couple of wild shots at where the shadow's voice was coming from, and we heard him fall.
How do you know that fall wasn't a trick? How do you know he didn't follow you here?
No boat trails.
No, I suppose it didn't occur to you that he might have been hiding in the speedboat with you. Where's that Sullivan girl? Bring her in here.
I'll get her, boss. She's locked in the next cabin.
Rankin, you're a fool. You let Trigger and the Sullivan girl in on something they're not likely to forget. And you know what to do. Take care of them.
You mean fix them so they won't talk? Permanent?
Do you know of any other way?
But listen, boss, the shadow said if anything happened to Mary Sullivan, you'd answer to him.
You leave the shadow to me.
The shadow? He ain't dead. I didn't kill him.
That is a reasonable assumption, Rankin.
Boss, he's here in this cabin.
I see my presence is accepted without question. Even though you can't see me.
Rankin, shoot, you fool, shoot.
Yes. Try again, Rankin.
All right, Shadow. Maybe I won't miss this time.
Hey, Rankin, what's up?
Rankin. Try again.
The door. He's getting out. Fast trigger. Shoot, Rankin, shoot. Get out of the way, Trigger.
Rankin, you rat. You double-crossing rat. Throw me full of lead, will you? Rub me out because I think too much, will you?
Oh, Trig. Put down that gun. I wasn't shooting at you. It was the shadow. He was here just a minute ago.
I care about the shadow. All I know is I got a load of lead in me. Your lead, and I'm going to...
Don't shoot.
Bad, Rankin. Too bad. Couldn't have polished me off like I did him. Quick and easy.
Trigger.
Shadow.
Trigger. That man there, the big boss, ordered Rankin to kill you. Trigger, he is your real enemy.
Yeah. I had a notion he might try it.
Don't raise that gun, Trigger.
I know that one. If I do, you'll kill me. You can't kill a guy with as much legend as I'm carrying. You can't kill a guy that's already dead.
Perhaps not, but I can't avoid the risk that you have strength enough left to raise that gun.
You're a better shot than Rankin. Big shot. Better shot, big shot. Not bad. Not a bad gag.
And now, we are alone.
Yes. Quite alone. And now, I'm going to deal with you, Shadow.
Your hand is shaking. Is that the way for a mastermind to act?
You devil. If I could only see you. But you won't get away.
And neither will you. I've notified the police. Their boats are coming. Listen.
So that's it, eh?
Yes. That's it. They're coming to get the leader of a counterfeit ring. But they will find a murderer. A cold-blooded killer. Locked in this cabin with his victim.
That's what you think, but you're mistaken.
Why are you putting down your gun? Are you giving up so easily?
Listen, Shadow, I've heard a lot about you. You're clever. Well, I'm clever, too. Clever enough to know when the game is up. I've anticipated just such an eventuality. I suppose you can see this little switch on my desk? My hand's resting on it.
Yes, I see it.
You know what will happen if I close this switch? And I will if the police set foot on this yacht.
I think I can guess.
Well, I'll tell you. This switch will set up a charge of high explosive down in the hold that will blow you and me and the police to kingdom come.
I see.
If you touch me, try to stop me, I'll throw the switch.
What do you expect me to do?
You call the police and you can send them away.
What makes you think I will?
If you don't get to them, I'll throw this switch. What have I got to lose? Well, there they are. What about it? Think fast. Will you send them away? So you think I'm bluffing, eh, Shadow?
No, you're not bluffing. I have no doubt there is high explosive in the hold of this ship. But I wonder if you have nerve enough to throw that switch. I wonder.
All right, Shadow, you had your chance and you wouldn't take it. Now I'll show you. I'll throw the switch. It didn't work. It didn't explode.
No, it didn't explode. The switch doesn't work because I've cut the wires. See where they run along the wall.
You devil. I'll get you. They may get me now, but I'll get you. You'll never take me alive.
Get him out of here. Go on, get him out. I guess it's the man we're after, Commissioner. All right, you, come on, get going.
Yes, Commissioner Weston, that is your man. That is the leader of the counterfeit ring you've hunted so long.
You win, Shadow.
The Shadow. I might have known. I had a hunch it was you again when the mysterious call came through. Commissioner Weston, there's a girl in the next cabin. She said she isn't a member of the gang.
She is Mary Sullivan, daughter of Michael Sullivan. Convicted of perjury in the counterfeit trial.
Sullivan's daughter?
Yes. She risked her life to find these men. Reward her by getting her father out of prison.
You'll be freed in the morning. You have my word on that. It looks like you're due a reward for this night's work, Shadow.
My reward, like yours, Commissioner, is in protecting the defenseless from those who have not
just heard is one of the many copyrighted stories that appear in the Shadow magazine. The characters in the story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite, will present another thrilling adventure of the Shadow. Be sure to listen and be sure to burn Blue Coal, the solid fuel for solid comfort.